3 days ago, Sam Altman stood in front of the world and said something remarkable. Artificial general intelligence, the breakthrough that was supposed to change everything, might have already happened. And nobody noticed. Quote, AGI kind of went whooshing by. It didn't change the world that much. Meanwhile, Elon Musk just moved his AGI prediction again. 2025 became 2026. Last week, he hinted at 2027. For 4 straight years, AGI has been exactly 12 to 18 months away. Always just close enough to keep the money flowing. Here's what's actually happening. The CEOs promising AGI can't even define what it is, and there's a $6.6 billion reason they're keeping it deliberately vague. Sam Altman has a contractual incentive to never declare AGI achieved. Microsoft's exclusive partnership with OpenAI terminates the moment AGI is reached. That's not speculation. That's written into the deal. The longer AGI stays undefined and just out of reach, the longer the partnership continues. The longer the funding keeps coming. Think about what that creates. You're the CEO of a company that just raised $6.6 billion promising AGI within 5 years. But achieving AGI ends your most valuable partnership. What do? You keep the definition vague. You move the goalposts. You make AGI simultaneously imminent enough to justify investments and distant enough that you never have to deliver. This is the shell game, and it's playing out in real time with billions of dollars on the table. Let me show you the pattern. In 2020, after GPT-3 launched, expert surveys estimated 50% probability of AGI by 2047. That's 27 years away. Distant. Safe. Then the timeline started compressing. By late 2022, just 2 years later, the median estimate jumped to 2032. A 15-year acceleration with no corresponding breakthrough to justify it. Then in June 2024, Leopold Aschenbrenner, a former OpenAI employee, called AGI by 2027, quote, strikingly plausible. Not certain, not probable, plausible. The hedging language matters because it gives you an out when the date arrives and nothing's changed. And that's exactly what Sam Altman just did. December 24, 2024, he says, maybe AGI already whooshed by. The goalpost didn't just move, it evaporated. Now instead of admitting they missed the target, they're redefining success as something that already happened, but was anticlimactic. You can't fail to achieve AGI if you claim it already exists, but nobody cares. Here's the tell. Track what happens to the definition of AGI as technology improves. In the 1980s, AGI meant a system that could play chess at a human level. Then Deep Blue beat Kasparov, and suddenly chess wasn't general intelligence anymore. It was just search algorithms. Level 5 organizations. Then large language models started writing coherent text. So the definition expanded. Now AGI requires consciousness, self-awareness, reasoning across any domain without training, the ability to improve itself. The bar keeps moving to stay just beyond what's currently possible. OpenAI released a 5-level roadmap to AGI. Level 1, chatbots. Level 2, reasoners. Level 3, agents. Both outcomes are bad for fundraising. They pointed out the levels aren't even measuring the same thing. Reasoning is a skill. Running an organization is a job category. It's incoherent, and it's incoherent by design. Because here's what happens if you create a clear, measurable definition of AGI. Someone might actually achieve it, or worse, prove you can't. So instead you create a framework where the goalposts can shift based on whatever's convenient. Elon Musk has given this masterclass. In 2024, he promised AGI by 2025. When 2025 arrived, the prediction shifted to 2026. If you chart his statements over 4 years, AGI is always 12 to 18 months away. That's not optimism. That's a fundraising strategy. His company XAI reportedly raises between $20 and $30 billion per year based on these timelines. That's real money betting on a finish line that keeps moving. And it works because the definition of crossing that finish line stays conveniently vague. Every major tech company is running the same playbook. OpenAI says AGI within 5 years. Anthropic's CEO Dario Amodei predicted it by 2026. DeepMind's Demis Hassabis sees it within a decade. None of them will commit to measurable, falsifiable predictions. None of them will say if we don't achieve these specific capabilities by this specific date, we've failed. That's not how legitimate science works. That's how you keep investments flowing while delivering incremental improvements on predictable curves. And those curves are predictable. AI capabilities have been improving steadily since transformers emerged. Every 2 years we get systems roughly twice as capable for the same cost. That's been consistent. It's real progress. Genuinely useful progress. But incremental improvement on a known curve doesn't justify the current valuations. Companies invested over $500 billion in AI data centers in 2024 alone. NVIDIA trades at 29 times sales. The entire market cap of major tech companies now prices in an AGI breakthrough happening soon. What happens when soon keeps getting redefined? When AGI is perpetually 2 to 5 years away but never arrives? The same thing that happens in every bubble. The narrative shifts, the valuations collapse, and someone's left holding worthless stock. Sam Altman's whooshed by comment is the first stage of that narrative shift. It's preemptive damage control. If AGI was supposed to arrive by 2027 and doesn't, you can point back to December 2024 and say we told you it already happened, you just didn't notice how transformative it was. Your expectations were wrong, not our delivery. It's the exact playbook Facebook used with the metaverse. Remember when the metaverse was going to revolutionize everything? Facebook renamed itself Meta, spent tens of billions. 2 years later, when the revolution didn't materialize, the narrative became, well, we're already living in the metaverse, it's just more subtle than expected. The technology didn't fail. Your understanding did. AGI predictions are following the identical path. The timeline compression from 2047 to 2032 to 2027 isn't based on technical breakthroughs. It's based on investment cycles requiring closer milestones to justify valuations. When those milestones arrive without the promised breakthrough, you don't admit failure. You redefine what success looks like. This matters beyond tech industry drama. If you own stock in any of these companies, your investment is priced on an AGI timeline that keeps shifting. If you work in tech, your job security depends on whether these companies can keep justifying their valuations when the breakthrough doesn't arrive on schedule. If you're planning your career around AI displacement or AI augmentation, you're making decisions based on timelines that are designed to be perpetually 2 years away. The real timeline for AGI, if we're being honest, probably looks more like the original 2040 to 2050 estimates, or longer. Or maybe never, if we're measuring against a definition that keeps expanding to stay beyond reach. But that timeline doesn't justify current valuations. It doesn't keep funding flowing. It doesn't support the narrative that we're living through the most important technological moment in human history. So instead we get Elon moving his prediction forward every year. We get Sam suggesting maybe it already happened. We get continuous redefinition of what AGI even means. The question isn't when AGI will happen. The question is when the market stops paying for promises that never arrive. Geoffrey Hinton predicted radiologists would be obsolete by 2021. Hospitals still desperately need thousands of radiologists today. Speech recognition was supposed to be solved in the 1960s. Computer vision in the 1980s. Natural language understanding in the 2000s. Every time the breakthrough was 5 to 10 years away. Every time when the deadline arrived, the definition expanded to include harder problems. The AGI race is following the same script. As capabilities improve, the bar moves higher. What would have counted as AGI under 2010 definitions doesn't count anymore. Now we need consciousness, self-improvement, reasoning across infinite domains. The target is designed to recede faster than technology advances. And here's why that matters for you. Companies are making hiring and firing decisions based on AGI timelines. They're cutting costs now, expecting AI to replace workers soon. Investors are allocating billions based on breakthrough predictions. Your retirement account probably holds stock in companies valued on AGI arriving by 2030. When the breakthrough doesn't arrive as promised, when AGI stays perpetually 2 years away, those valuations adjust. Those jobs don't come back. Those investments don't recover. Someone's holding the bag when the music stops. Sam Altman just told you the music is already stopping. AGI whooshed by without changing much. That's not a victory lap. That's setting up the excuse for when the promised revolution doesn't materialize. It's saying the revolution already happened, you just didn't notice, so don't blame us when the stock crashes. The honest answer to when will AGI happen is we don't know because we can't agree on what it means. The dishonest answer, the one that keeps money flowing, is always some variation of very soon. Just keep investing. And when soon arrives without the breakthrough, you don't admit failure. You say it already happened, just more subtly than expected. That's not science, that's crisis management. And if your money, your job, or your career is riding on AGI timelines, you need to understand the game being played. Because the CEOs making promises know something you don't. The timeline isn't real. The definition isn't fixed. And when everyone realizes that, the valuations built on those promises are going to evaporate faster than AGI whooshed by.